He was a Melbourne schoolboy. She was his PE teacher. He was 15. She was 36, old enough to be his mother. And she broke every rule in the book. For her sins, Karen Ellis was branded a pedophile, convicted and jailed. Just this month she was released. And tonight she and her victim, Ben Dunbar, tell their story. The attraction, the secret meetings, the love affair. Her crime. Put bluntly, Karen Ellis betrayed a trust. She had sex with a minor. And surprising as it may seem, after all the notoriety, all the damage this affair has caused, Karen Ellis and young Ben are back in touch. A pedophile and her victim.
That was all right. Hope I beat that.
No pressure.
Easy in each other's company, angry and confused at what fate the law has dealt them. 2 years ago, Karen Ellis, then 36, and Ben Dunbar, only 15, became lovers. She was his teacher, he her student.
Oh, learning.
Karen is of the same age as Ben's mother, but they want us to believe this was an affair among equals.
Ben knew what he was doing. I knew what I was doing. I mean, I'm not making excuses at all. It was wrong. What I did was wrong. Look, if I could take it all back, honestly, I would. I mean, the nightmare I've lived for 2 years has... I've lost my job, I've lost my marriage, I've been to prison. I remember...
You came out of prison a pedophile.
I did come out a pedophile. I mean, I don't think I am, but the law says I am.
You are a pedophile. That's a fact.
That's the law.
That is the law, and that's the truth.
Maybe it is, isn't it? What do I say to that? You know?
Explain to me why you think you're not a pedophile.
Because I don't think I pursued young boys. Ben was a one-off situation. I've taught for 15 years. Never in that time have I had any incident. I don't look at young boys as if, well, that's who, you know, I want to sleep with them.
You don't believe you're a predator?
No. I don't think...
In the way it happened, you could say I was a predator. I mean, I went after her.
But you know that that's impossible.
Well,
you can never be the predator. You know that, don't you?
Well, apparently I'm the victim, you know, that's...
But you are the victim.
By law, I'm the victim.
Not apparently, you are.
Yeah, well, by the law, yeah. Yep.
But you don't see yourself as a victim?
Definitely not, no.
Tonight, their story about a liaison which shattered two families. Is Karen Ellis a pedophile?
As far as I'm concerned, any human being that has a sexual interest in a child is, by definition, a pedophile.
Because she doesn't view herself as a pedophile.
I think any teacher that violates the sacred trust that exists between a teacher and a student cannot be regarded as anything other than that.
It started in 2003 at this suburban high school in Melbourne, where Karen Ellis, a married mother of 3, was a PE teacher. Ben Dunbar was a Year 10 student with a big crush. How did it begin?
Just, we were very close and, you know, we always had good conversations, have a laugh, and then unintentionally just became physical, yeah.
Do you think it was lust?
I suppose you could call it that. Just a crush, you know, that went a bit too far.
I did go to school and I looked forward to seeing Ben as much as I know he probably looked forward to seeing me.
And was that because you were flattered that he obviously liked you?
I think it was. Look, I think the whole attention, I mean, Ben was very mature.
Are you suggesting that Ben at 15 had the same maturity that you did at 36?
At times he did. He did. We could stand there and talk. I mean, he wasn't a giggly, silly schoolboy. He wasn't, he wasn't one that rode skateboards or did silly. Yeah, he was very mature.
But from that first moment when you knew that you were attracted to a student, Why didn't you put on the brakes then?
I don't know.
Athletic and tall for his age, Ben had captured Karen Ellis's eye on and off the school's basketball court. Then, after hours one day in October 2003, this crush became something far more serious. Physical contact, kissing for the first time. I guess you felt you could.
I suppose you could say that, but you know, I took my chances and I just went for it.
A sexual relationship soon followed. With Karen's husband at work, she drove Ben to her home in Eltham. This would be the pattern for 6 weeks, once stopping for lunch at McDonald's before driving Ben back to school. So within 9 months of noticing your PE teacher, you were sleeping with her.
Yeah.
It's pretty extraordinary, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Well, I don't know. What can I say?
Well, what were you thinking about while this was happening?
I thought it was pretty good, but I mean, but I wasn't hoping for any long-term relationship. I was just...
You weren't?
No.
When you're having sex with a 15-year-old boy, what are you thinking?
I don't want to comment on that.
No, but I mean, are you thinking to yourself that this is a dangerous thing to be doing?
Oh, I don't even sort of want to go down what I was thinking, or... I mean, obviously, yeah. As I said, it was one of those things that, look, it just happened, and then later I went, what have I done?
It was a fairly intense 6 weeks, it seems.
No, it only happened 6 times in 6 weeks, and although, yeah, that does sound a lot, it wasn't.
Well, I'm not just talking about the sex, actually. I'm talking about the 499 text messages, the 50 telephone calls. This is a fairly intense relationship.
Well, I mean, the media has said it's that many.
No, the police say it's that many.
I find it hard to believe it was quite that many, but yeah, it was. It was pretty full on for 6 weeks.
And at any time during that period, did you stop to think, I'm actually doing something terribly wrong here?
The whole time.
If Karen Ellis felt guilty, it didn't put a stop to her constant text messages to Ben's mobile phone. They were discovered by his mother, who then reported her suspicions to the local police station. Karen Ellis was arrested and charged with 6 counts of sexual penetration with a child under her care. Have you spoken to Ben's mother?
Never, no.
Do you understand why she went to the police?
Oh, absolutely.
Isn't that really one of the things you have to do as a teacher, is protect the child that you have care for?
Yep.
So you breached that trust?
I did breach your trust, and then, I mean, you can sit here, I'm not going to deny for a minute that I did, completely, I overstepped the boundaries, and that's exactly why the law's there and I was punished.
This year, Karen Ellis received a 6-month prison sentence. She is now a registered sex offender and cannot work with children again. Her teaching career may be as shattered as her marriage, but in part, she is still denying her original sin. Do you think you got a fair punishment?
Look, I don't. I mean, I don't know.
On one hand, you're terribly sorry about what's happened here, but I'm wondering if you really understand why it's such a heinous crime.
Liz, I've done 6 months in jail. Of course I'm going to, I've sat there every single day. So, yeah, I do know.
You are now a registered sex offender. For the next 15 years, you are going to be classified as a pedophile.
What can I say? I mean, yeah.
I'm still hungry.
Just get something, okay? Order anything.
What is your relationship now?
Just friends.
Just
I mean,
good
we're always.
friends.
I don't think you can go through an experience like we have and not still have a close relationship. But I mean, it's purely just friendship, and that's the way we both want it. I think.
There's nothing sexual going on
No.
between you.
No. But it's in his cup.
While some have wondered what all the fuss is about, calling it merely a teenage boy's fantasy come true, adolescent psychologist Michael Carr-Gregg sees it very differently.
Let's be clear, there is no difference. Gender doesn't enter into it. An adolescent is an adolescent. Their brain is a work in progress. They can't make the same judgments as adults, and any adult who exploits their vulnerability is doing the wrong thing.
So when you hear people say, good on him, no harm done, what do you think?
I think Taurus excretus, Liz.
Taurus excretus.
Bull dust. It's just absolute nonsense. I mean, I don't know who they think they're kidding. This is a child.
People that they've never met me, and they say this was 2 years ago. They say, a couple of years down the track, he'll be pretty messed up, and yet, I'm totally fine.
You obviously don't see Karen as a pedophile.
No, definitely not. I mean, if a pedophile is someone that preys on young guys or young girls, goes after them, which it wasn't like that.
You still have contact with Ben.
We're friends, yeah.
Is that a good thing to do?
It's not so much as in it's just simply how you're going. We've been through this together. It helps to talk to someone who's also feeling, I suppose.
But he's your victim.
Well, yeah. Well,
shouldn't you be leaving him alone? Shouldn't you allow him to be on his own?
Well, it was actually Ben that rang me, so...
But that's okay. Why do you allow that contact to continue on?
Well, we're still friends.
Ben Dunbar never finished school. He is now in his first year as an apprentice electrician. Despite the denials of any damage, Ben's relationship with his mother has broken down completely because she blew the whistle on Karen Ellis. How long since you haven't spoken to your mum?
At least probably 18 months.
And that's just because you can't bring yourself to...
Yeah, basically. I just can't bring myself to even be in the same room.
Ben's got a mind of his own, and this is what people don't realise. I can't say, I've said to him, look, it's not your mum's fault. She's done what I would have done. Try and speak to her, whatever, but that's his choice.
But if Ben's mum's watching you right now, is there anything you would like to say to her?
Well, I'm sorry. I can't say anymore.
Where do you think your life goes now?
I don't really know at the moment. Can we just stop for a second? Can I just
Yeah,
go,
sure.
please?
Yeah, no problem.
Hello, I'm Tom Steinford. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our Extra Minutes segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au, as well as the 9Now app.